Welcome to the University of Northampton Popular Music Podcast. Hi there, my name is Dr. Stace Constantinou. I'm a senior lecturer and the programme leader for popular music at the University of Northampton. Okay, so welcome Darren, Biard. Darren, you were a student here at the university a few years ago during the lockdown period, and then since you've graduated, you're now basically a professional musician, or you're in the music industry. So it's really, really exciting to have you with us today.
It's a pleasure to be here.
Thank you. And we're going to find out what's inspired you to do music, what inspired you to go to university, and what you're doing now currently. Like, sure. You've just come in from a festival. You'll tell us about that. Yeah. Hot off the festival, and you're still knackered.
Indeed. Yeah, absolutely shattered.
I made you another cup of coffee.
Absolutely, yeah. Coffee was definitely needed. It's perked me right up.
And we'll also talk about some of your hopes and aspirations for where you're gonna take it to the next level.
Yeah, for sure.
Brilliant. Okay. So Darren, what got you into music in the first place?
So I remember I used to live in South Africa when I was younger. I moved here when I was about 14. So I'd never really been to a proper live gig before. And one of my mates from school asked me to go to a gig down in Milton Keynes at the Crawford Arms. And I just remember walking in and just experiencing like the live music and just being absolutely blown away by it. I never really considered myself to do music before, or to try and so I was probably 15, 16 at this point going to this gig. And I just remember after that just having this strong sense of wanting to do something around music. But it still took me maybe a year or two to actually pick up a guitar and start starting learning how to play, and obviously learned a couple of songs and things. And obviously at that point I had already chosen my GCSEs and my A-levels before I'd kind of properly decided I wanted to do music. So I never really did music in school really, so I just kind of self-taught myself off YouTube and learning tabs and things off online. And then I decided to start a band with some of my mates, and I played bass. I didn't play bass, I played guitar, and that's what I wanted to do in the band, but I owned a bass. And so I kind of got chucked on bass. As most bassists probably, that's kind of how a lot of us start, is just having a bass or being kind of okay with playing bass. And so then the guitarists or the lead guitarist decide to chuck us there. But after a couple of years of playing it, I think I definitely prefer it as an instrument. It's a lot more about the groove and kind of mixing the rhythm and the melody and stuff. And definitely found my home within playing bass instead of guitar. I do still obviously jam both instruments.
And then, so what made you decide to go to university to take it to the next stage then, rather than just keep it as a hobby?
I was within that first band. We were kind of doing some gigs, and we wanted to start doing some recording. My mate Harry had started on this course. He had done a year already, and he was in the band, and he had said really good things about it. I was doing a gap year at that point. I wasn't really too sure what I was doing with myself. I was kind of in a bit of a lost period. And I just wanted to learn a bit more about the recording side, a little bit more about actually get a bit more of a solid basis of music theory. And I know, Tony Platt was obviously the studio engineer here. So I thought it was a good opportunity. The live room is great. You've got an amazing desk and stuff. So I thought it would be a good place to come start learning how to do the recording and kind of be a bit more full on, trying to make it within the music industry rather than just make it as a band. I wanted to kind of get into the industry as a whole, because I know obviously it's so difficult to really be one of the next Arctic Monkeys or whoever, Bring Me the Horizon or whoever you might like. It's 1 in a million chance really. So trying to get a more full knowledge about music and the full industry so I could get in wherever I could, because I didn't really want to do. I was working at Marks and Spencer's and I was gonna get an apprenticeship there to do management or whatever. And I just kind of remember I got in to do the apprenticeship, and I just remember not really being too excited about it, and kind of having the idea of going to do music for 3 years was a lot more exciting. So I decided to bin off doing the apprenticeship and came to uni. And yeah, best decision I made, I think. It's definitely gave me the time to learn all the things that I needed to learn. Maybe not all the things. I think I've learned a lot of things since being at uni as well. But I think that's always going to happen. You're always going to be learning within this industry. Things are always changing, and you're always meeting new people, and you're always doing different bands, different things. There's different issues that arise, so you can never really know it all, I think. So yeah. I think that's kind of how I got to uni.
So thank you, Darren. And it's, I think, like I say, university it's not going to teach you everything, but if it gives you what you need to make a start in your career, then we're happy with that.
Yeah,
and
for sure.
I mean, a lifetime in 30 years from now, what you know about live sound and the music industry is going to be so much more than 100%. What you know now. So
yeah, 100%.
But if we've given you the means to get in, then we're happy. And I'm glad you said some nice things about the uni, but it was a difficult time for you and your cohort because it was COVID and we got locked down. And of course, we can't actually teach. A lot of the stuff we teach is practical. So you're learning how to use the mixing desk, the studio, how to work with the faders and the dials, performances in a booth or on a stage. So much practical teaching we do. There's some theoretical stuff that can, work online, but I don't know, 60 to 70% of it can't.
Yeah, for sure.
And
yeah,
so I felt sorry for your group because you were locked down, and then we did this intensive 6-week.
Yeah.
I don't know, I can't remember, 8 hours a day.
Yeah, it was quite a lot.
To try to give you the experience that ideally you would have had if we hadn't had lockdowns. So tell us how your feelings and all about that.
Feelings and all of that. Yeah, it definitely was a shock when COVID happened. I think it was to everyone, but it wasn't. I think it wasn't the worst thing. I think it definitely was a bit trialing at the time. Looking back on it, I'm not too upset that it happened in terms of like what. Obviously, it was a tragedy, but with all the people that did die and lost and all of that, but. For the course, it was difficult because we couldn't do the practical learning, but we did have. I work a lot better personally doing stuff under strict time pressure and intensive courses and kind of pushing through it. I think that's how a lot of stuff works within the music industry. You don't always get the time to learn it, and you just need to learn stuff very quickly and get on with it and do it. So I think that kind of actually gave a lot more real life experience. Compared to the stuff I've done since being at uni, that's been kind of the realest part is having that kind of intensive course. And then while we had all the time in COVID to be at home and to not be off partying like you do at uni, so I was kind of stuck inside. So I did have that time to just sit and get better at my instrument and watch a bunch of YouTube videos on how to do lots of studio things and kind of just. It gave me a lot more time and focus time where I had no other things to do. I couldn't go see friends. I couldn't go do anything. I just had to sit, and I think a lot of other people didn't take that opportunity like I did. I think some people just used it as a time to chill and like relax and play Xbox or whatever. But I used it. Yeah, I think I saw the benefit in being able to. And I mean, I did have my time to chill and not do a load of stuff. But I think there was a lot of time within uni. That we'd have the lectures during the day on online lectures or whatever, but it was kind of reduced because we couldn't do a lot of the practical stuff. So, but I was still there trying to learn what I could within like myself, like playing bass or guitar or working on Ableton or Pro Tools to just get all my studio stuff better. I got myself some speakers and an interface and stuff, and I just kind of went from there and started. Teaching myself about a lot of different things, and I think that really gave me a lot of the tools to get where I am today within the bits of work that I am getting. So I think it was a blessing and a curse really, because we couldn't do any practical work for a bit, and I think at the time I kind of first saw it very negatively, but then because of the work that because of the intensive work that we did do at the end, it kind of gave a lot of kind of gratification towards that.
Yeah, thanks, Dan. I remember not just you, but quite a few students are quite stressed by it, and I am sorry, that you had to have that. And we did try to put a positive spin, say, well, I know you're in lockdown, but once we come back, it's going to be intensive. But you were quite stressed. But what you said though, I'm now remembering you, because before lockdown, when it's kind of free and easy, you were quite a relaxed person, and I do remember suddenly you were very focused.
Yeah,
so,
definitely.
Darren's here again.
Yeah,
He's on the ball and he's on the case and he's got stuff. So I can see what you're saying now, thinking about. You were much more focused.
Yeah, it gave me that chance to kind of reevaluate kind of my stance on not everything, but just what I want to do and what my priorities were moving forward. And it gave me that chance to really focus myself into just doing music and kind of not worrying about a lot of other things.
And then that was your second year, wasn't it? Is that right? And then your third year, you were very focused. And you were in the studio a lot, and you made an amazing EP, and you really skilled up. And your written work, which you felt less confident about, you worked really hard on that as well.
Yeah, definitely.
And you were really, Stace, have a look at this. Have I got it right yet? It was really good.
I was quite confident with my practical stuff, but definitely the written work. I was less confident on being like dyslexic and things. It just doesn't. That's always been the bit of my. Anywhere in academia, that's always been my letdown is my written stuff. Like my practical's always been good, and I put a lot of time and effort into that. Like you said, I was always in the studio, and I'm sure Adam was sick of me asking him to book it. But that's the bit that I really enjoyed, and so I wanted to make sure that I didn't let myself down on the written work. So I'm sure you were sick of me emailing you, Stace, every other day. Like, Stace, is this right? Is this right? Not yet. Cool. I'll fix it.
That's really good, because it means that students who do that, it inevitably means that they get better mark and they improve.
Definitely.
It's the ones I worry about who I'll never see, and they're very relaxed. Oh yeah, I'm on it. Okay. I was never worried about that. And I was really pleased with you as well, because I remember you just grabbed me one day. Oh, can you just have a quick look now? I was like, oh, okay, I've only got 20 minutes though. And then I got to go to a meeting or something and teach.
I do.
And then we banged it out.
We smashed it. We got it. We got it done, and then it gave me the direction to kind of do the next little bit that I needed.
Anyway, so you graduated. You did really well. Your major project, I'm pretty sure you got A grades. Yep. You really sort of were impressive in the third year. You're one of those people that focused and achieved your goals. And then I happened to bump into you at one of the local many awesome venues in Northampton, Garibaldi, and we had a chat. Oh, what are you doing now? We had a lovely chat, and you're now working in the music industry, and I was really pleased to hear that you'd done so well. Not really surprised, but it was nice to hear that and see you thriving. And you moved to Northampton, and you love it in Northampton. So tell us about what you're doing now.
Yeah, cool. So I work in a couple of the local venues around. I don't actually work at the Garibaldi. I was just there watching a band, I think, or I can't remember exactly why I was there. But so I've been working around at the Lab, the Black Prince sometimes, and mainly at the Crawford Arms lately, which is down in Milton Keynes, but it's only a stone's throw away. I worked doing the live sound really for loads of different bands, and it's great. I find it very gratifying, just always doing something different. You always have a new band in. You're talking to different musicians from all walks of life, kind of about their setups and their gear, and kind of making the show happen. That's what I like doing. It's just kind of stuff always goes wrong within live stuff. Like something will always not work exactly as expected, or you're always having to troubleshoot stuff. But it's just about kind of getting past that and kind of. Just making the show happen. Doesn't matter how you have to do it. Just kind of getting up and making it work. I love all the aspects of it really, and kind of I've been doing a bit of studio work here and there, but I found a lot more work of actually available within the live sound, and I've been doing some conference work, which you got to do a little bit of corporate kind of award shows and things like that, which is a little bit more stale and a bit boring, but still enjoy it. I still enjoyed the going and kind of the setting up of everything, rigging up a whole system, making sure it's all sounding good, and kind of like that aspect of the techie side of it, and a bit more of I find the conference stuff is a little bit more the nerdy side of it, kind of making sure everything sounds like good for just speech and kind of reducing all the feedback and all that type of stuff. But the days are long, and yeah, it's not as musical usually. It's more just a technical side of things. But yeah, they both have their gratification really. And they both have their good sides of things. So yeah, I've been doing a lot of that just around the local area. I've managed to get in with some companies that do like the sound for Cambridge University, for different colleges around Cambridge and Oxford as well. So I've done some of their Mayballs, that's again, yeah, you're doing bands from like 4 o'clock when the guests enter till like 6 a.m. when the guests leave. And yeah, again, that's just you go set up a bunch of PA, get some mics out, and just kind of roll with it. So some bands turn up, and stuff always goes wrong. Bands don't turn up with snares or breakables or amps or things, and you're just running around site trying to find a jack lead or whatever it may have you that they don't have, and that you need. Or yeah, exactly. And yeah, you just make the show happen, and there's a bit of stress at the time, but nothing feels better than at the end of it, just kind of sitting back and being like, yeah, that was good show.
So you're joining us now. You're just hotly off the press, so to speak. You're just back from a weekend of work at a UK music festival, Guildfest, is that right? Yeah. Guildfest, they've just relaunched it or something?
Yeah, I can't remember exactly when the last one was, but yeah, I was working for a company who was doing 3 of the stages. At Guildfest, it's the first one they've done. They did do one in a different location last year or the year before, I think, but it was the first one back in its original field and its original place. And so yeah, it was really good. There was a couple of really good headliners. I was working front of house for the Castle stage, which was just one of the smaller tents. But yeah, it was great fun. We did 14 bands a day, and it was good fun just kind of getting the bands up. You had 15-minute changeovers, so it was all a bit of a panic and a rush. Well, not a panic, but a rush, kind of get the bands on, get the bands off, new bands up, mix a different type of thing. And it's loads of different styles. You're going from like folk to reggae to like metal to rock and blues, and it's never the same bands twice, so you're just constantly changing what you're having to do. And yeah, it really tests your ear, and especially after doing it for couple of hours, if you're in front of the loud PA for 6 hours or so, you start second guessing yourself, and that kick drum that was sounding great an hour ago, you're not too sure on anymore, and you're just kind of trying to figure out what you're hearing still. But yeah, it's great fun. And yeah, you're just constantly talking with new people, and you meet some lovely people on the road, and just it's super, super gratifying seeing the band come up and just be super happy afterwards and kind of thank you for doing the sound. And you're doing a pretty good job if people are coming and thanking you, because I find I used to find that a lot of people would say that it's not quite a gratifying job, and people don't really come thank you for you. There's no thanks to the text usually, but you're doing something right if you are getting compliments and stuff. So yeah, I had a great weekend. It's a lot of work, and it's very tiring. I'm kind of working until late at night from very early, but I wouldn't change it for anything. I'd rather be out in a field doing that than in an office, or a studio maybe, but a studio you're in darkness for 12 hours tuning a snare, whereas there you're in a field in the sunshine, just breathing in the fresh air, talking to different people. So I'd love to start doing some studio work as well, but the live sound I find has definitely given me a lot more joy since uni. Even though that's not entirely where I thought I'd end up. I definitely, at the end of uni, was kind of focused on trying to get a studio job, but kind of have to just roll with how life works sometimes, and I don't think that was exactly where I was supposed to end up. I think I'm supposed to end up in the live sound, and I think that's kind of makes sense, and seeing as like the thing that got me into music was kind of walking into a live venue, and the Crawford, which is the first place I ever went to go see a band, is where I'm now working, which is kind of awesome, pretty awesome. So yeah, I think I was always meant to kind of do the live sound, and it's kind of worked out that way because it's supposed to. So yeah, I'm really happy with kind of where life's going, and I think uni definitely helped me kind of get there, because I didn't do any tech before coming to uni. All the stuff I've learned is pretty much from here. My first live sound job was because an old ex-student of this course as well, Sam McLeod, he works at the lab as well, my band was playing, and we kind of just started started chatting. I told him I did this course, and he was like, "Oh, you did this course, you must know what you're doing fairly well. Come shadow me once." And then I shadowed him once, and then that was it. I started doing live sound for things. And yeah, it's been kind of just, it's always been going up and up and up. So until something tells me I need to stop doing it, I think this is my direction for now, which is great.
I'm sure you'll get that studio opportunity at some point.
Definitely.
No doubt.
Yeah, that's definitely the next step.
What's your plan to take your career to the next level then?
So yeah, I think just kind of trying to find some bands to tour with. I think I've started doing some of the festival work, doing like the front of house for stages, but I want to start going to different festivals with bands and start doing different, just kind of doing the touring aspects. I think you can then mix the live sound with a bit more of that studio relationship with a band and kind of working together to make a all-round amazing show or an all-round amazing like sound. Trying to find some bands to tour with. I want to start building up my own bit of kit. So I have a bit of a mic package at the moment and like a mixer, like a digital mixer which can do pretty much any show. But I want to start building up some PA, a couple more mics obviously to kind of get a full drum kit set up, sorted. As well as, I think trying to find a studio to potentially start working in with some of the bands because I've done bits of recordings with bands, but the more I can do of that, the better, really. And then trying to work on my own music to start trying to get that out a little bit more, because I love the tech, but I also do like playing, and I do want to start at least releasing some music just to get some of that creativity out there. Trying to kind of focus a bit, like kind of double down on the live stuff, but also start working in some capacity within studios and with band a little bit more one-on-one with bands instead of just being front of house. Trying to find some more companies to work with doing bigger festivals and just kind of grow everything that I've got going at the moment, but also add a couple more aspects of doing some more band stuff and a bit more of the studio bits. So I think that's kind of the next steps for me.
Well, I'm sure you'll be successful.
Thank you very much. I really appreciate that.
Thank you for joining me today.
No, it's a pleasure. Thank you for having me.
All the best. And I look forward to seeing you again.
Indeed, I'm sure we'll see each other very soon.
Thank you so much for listening to our podcast. If you found it enjoyable or interesting, please like and subscribe, and even leave a comment down below if you like.